to the pumpkin song. In this town, don't we love it now? Everybody's waiting for the next surprise. Skeleton Jack might catch you in the back and scream like a banshee, make you jump out of your skin. This is Halloween, everybody scream. Please make way for a very special time. Our man Jack is king of the pumpkin patch. Everyone hail to the pumpkin king now. This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween.
Hey guys, it is Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. Happy Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. Welcome to apparently another spicy day, day 9 of the Darrell Brooks trial. I'm exhausted from today, so I'm probably not going to have this stream go for very long. But so I want to kind of focus primarily on the big stuff. So I already have it, as you guys can see, to the testimony with the individual who needed an interpreter with, and I think it's a witness that Mr. Brooks subpoenaed. So we're going to take a look at that. And then there's like a couple of, a tiny handful of clips from later this afternoon with the detective who was talking about the interrogation that he had with Mr. Brooks. So we're going to take a look at those and then just kind of keep it short and sweet. So I apologize. It's not going to be extensive though. But yeah, it's been a long day. I will try to be more thorough tomorrow. So we'll get this show on the road, but I want to say thank you to all of you. Please hit that like button as you sit back and relax, and we'll get this party started. I think I started right in the early parts of the testimony here.
And do you recall who you were there with that day?
¿Se acuerdan con quién estaba ese día?
Con mi esposa y mi hijo.
With my wife and with my son.
And were you marching in the parade that day?
¿Usted estaba caminando en el desfile ese día?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you remember who you were marching
¿Se
with?
acuerdan
Was
con
it
quién
a
estaba caminando?
particular group?
¿Un grupo particular?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you recall who that group was?
¿Se acuerda quién era el grupo con el cual estaba desfilando?
Sí.
Yes.
And at some point, you felt something hit your leg?
Y en un momento usted sintió que algo le pegó su pierna.
Es correcto.
That's correct.
And do you remember what that was?
¿Se acuerda qué fue?
Un vehículo.
A vehicle.
And did you see the vehicle?
¿Vio el vehículo? ¿Lo vio?
No.
No.
I put it at 1.25 speed.
At some point, did you go to Freighter Hospital?
¿En algún momento usted pasó al hospital Freighter?
Sí.
Yes.
And were you interviewed by any law enforcement at that time?
¿Usted fue entrevistado por algún agente policial? Policía?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you recall if it was regular officers or FBI?
¿Se acuerda si fue un oficial regular o fue la agente de FBI?
FBI.
FBI.
Do you recall
Federales.
telling them that the truck was black?
¿Se acuerda que usted
Grounds.
The objection is sustained.
That is a leading question. Did you tell him that the truck was black is a leading question.
As to leading, please rephrase your question.
Do you remember what color you told them the truck was?
¿Se acuerda si usted se acuerda qué color dijo él, qué color de la troca fue?
No recuerdo.
I don't remember.
Oh, Oh, damn it. I had something for this. I was thinking about it too. I was going to have the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme play during this, and I completely forgot. Because I think this is the whole purpose of the witness is to tell him that it was a different color car that hit him. But he didn't remember.
So it would be fair to say you don't recall seeing anything at that time?
¿Se puede decir que usted no se acuerda de nada en ese tiempo?
No.
No.
And did you at any time file a claim related to this incident?
¿En algún momento usted archivó un reclamo con respecto a este incidente?
No recuerdo.
I don't remember.
Do you know if anyone you were with filed a claim related to this incident?
¿Sabe si alguien que la acompañó si ha archivado un reclamo con respecto a este incidente?
No lo sé.
I don't know.
Would you consider yourself an injured party in this incident?
¿Usted se considera una parte herida, lesionada debido a este incidente?
Sí.
Yes.
He was injured, so yeah.
Any reason why you wouldn't file a claim since you considered yourself an injured party?
Por el hecho que usted
Objection.
se considera una persona no
Speculation.
durante ese incidente, ¿alguna razón por la cual no archivaría un reclamo?
There's an objection. It's sustained as to the form of the question. Please rephrase.
Por favor, diga la pregunta de nuevo.
¿Me puede repetir la pregunta?
There's an objection. You don't need to answer.
No tiene que contestar. Could you repeat the question, please?
Please rephrase, Mr.
Por favor,
Brooks.
diga la pregunta de diferente manera, señor Brooks.
That's kind of hard to rephrase.
Es un poco difícil.
Well, yeah.
De diferente manera.
Just withdraw the question. Move on.
Did you intend on filing a claim related to this case?
Objection.
¿De archivar un reclamo con respecto a este caso?
Hold on. There's been an objection. The ground.
Posición.
Your Honor, first of all,
Primero.
this witness testified he doesn't recall filing a claim, so I'm not sure what the relevance then would be of the question.
The question was, did he intend?
I'll sustain the objection as to the form of the question. Please rephrase.
Do you recall at any time filing a police report?
¿Se acuerda en un momento usted de archivar un reporte de policía?
Sí.
Yes.
And was that with local law enforcement,
Eso fue
if you recall?
la agencia de policía local, ¿sí se acuerda?
No recuerdo.
I don't remember.
Did any law enforcement from that report follow up with you at any time?
¿Alguna representante de una agencia policíaca hizo algún tipo de seguimiento con usted en ese tiempo?
Sí.
Yes.
And do you recall what agency that was?
¿Se acuerda qué agencia fue contrató?
No.
No.
It's whispered, but I can get a few words out of what he's saying to the
Do
witness.
you recall at any time being notified that you could possibly testify in this incident?
¿Usted se acuerda que en un momento que le notificaron que en un momento usted podría testificar sobre ese incidente?
¿Me puede repetir la pregunta?
Could you repeat the question?
Sure. Do you recall at any time being notified that it was a possibility that you could testify in this incident?
¿Se acuerda que en un momento podría, si lo notificaron, que habría sido una posibilidad que usted podría testificar con respecto a ese incidente?
No.
No.
Were you ever subpoenaed in relation to this incident?
¿Lo citaron alguna vez a corte con respecto a ese incidente?
Sí.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to say that Natalie pointed this out earlier, and I didn't even catch it until now. But the vast majority, notwithstanding the prosecution objecting to one of the questions, well, they objected to the most pertinent question. Virtually all the questions he's been asking are leading questions. These are all questions that he's been asking on cross. Virtually all of these questions are leading. The prosecution is letting it happen because it doesn't really matter all that much, except for the one part that it did matter when he asked about the color of the vehicle that that he's trying to get the witness to say.
Do you recall who you received this subpoena from?
¿Se acuerda de quién recibió el citatorio de corte?
Del distrito de la oficina del fiscal.
From the office of the district attorney.
And do you recall when that was?
¿Se acuerda cuándo fue?
Un mes y días.
A month and a few days.
I don't think it's gaslighting. He's probably reading off of the police report. So it may be at the time that he made that the witness made the statement to the police report at the time that he said that the car was black, but he doesn't remember what he said at the time now.
Rather, strike that back. After receiving this subpoena, did you follow up with the district attorney's office at any time after?
Después de recibir entonces el citatorio, recibió un tipo de seguimiento por medio de la oficina fiscal después del incidente.
Sí.
Yes.
Do you recall whom you spoke with?
¿Se acuerda con quién habló?
Susan.
Susan.
Would that be referring to Attorney Opper, who was seated at this table?
¿Se refiere a Susan Opper que está sentado en esa mesa?
Sí.
Yes.
Ta, Ed, please. Well, I mean, it's to plant seeds of doubt in the jury. I mean, that's the job of the defense, to plant seeds of doubt as to whether or not. I mean, I guess you could classify it as gaslighting, but it's part of the job. If you're going to make an argument against,
and were you at any time
towards mistaken identity,
a plaintiff in this incident?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Confirmó la posición.
You don't need to answer that
No
question.
tiene que contestar la pregunta.
Were you at any time notified that there was a plaintiff in this incident?
Objection,
Grounds.
relevance.
The objection is sustained. The witness does not need to answer.
Do you even know if there's a plaintiff in this incident?
Objection, relevance.
The objection is sustained. The witness does not need to answer.
No tiene que contestar la pregunta.
Do you recall ever seeing, excuse me, do you ever recall, sorry. Do you recall ever seeing or reading a complaint in this matter?
Entonces, ¿cuál es su
hey, OV.
una acusación criminal en este asunto?
No.
No.
Going back to the actual incident, would it be fair to say that at the time you were very confused?
Volviendo entonces al incidente, ¿se puede decir que en ese tiempo usted estaba bastante confundido?
¿Me puede repetir la pregunta?
Could you repeat the question?
Going back to the time of the incident at the parade, would it be fair to say that you were confused at the time?
Volviendo entonces al momento del desfile, ¿se puede decir que usted estaba confundido en ese tiempo?
No.
No.
Any reason why you don't recall seeing anything?
¿Hay alguna razón por la cual usted no se acuerda de ver algo?
¿Me puede repetir la pregunta?
Could you repeat the question?
Any reason why you don't recall seeing anything?
¿Alguna razón por la cual usted no se puede ver nada de ese tipo?
No vi el vehículo.
I did not see the vehicle.
Solo pasó.
It just passed by.
I mean, you may have been confused at the time. We don't know what it was like. He got hit, so it's entirely possible that he may have said something to the cops that he doesn't remember now,
Last response.
and it may have been wrong at the time.
¿Qué pasó el vehículo? ¿Quiere decir que ocurrió el incidente o que el vehículo pasó por usted? ¿Qué es cuando usted dice pasó el vehículo o que pasó como ocurrió?
Ocurrió, me pegó y pasó
Yeah,
rápido.
for clarification, the interpreter inquired if he meant the vehicle passed by or if the incident happened. The defendant, interpreter for clarification, the interpreter would like to say that he meant that it just happened, that the vehicle just hit him, rather than, I believe the interpreter translated what he said as it passed by. What he meant to say is that it actually happened, rather than passed by. So
Okay.
for that point of clarification, for the record.
Thank you.
Wait, he flew through the air. Wait, what? Is that like on video or something?
Also, for clarification, just so we're clear for the record, you don't recall actually seeing the vehicle.
También, sí, vamos a estar clarificando con el acta.
Oh, they.
No se acuerda que vio el vehículo.
Okay.
No.
No.
No further questions.
No más preguntas.
Any questions, Attorney Basie?
Briefly.
Brevemente.
Good morning, Mr. Marquez.
Buenos días, señor.
Good morning.
On November 21st of last year, were you walking with the Catholic communities of Waukesha?
El 21 de noviembre del año pasado, desfilando con Catholic Communities of Waukesha.
Es correcto.
That's correct.
Hold on.
Oh, you guys are spoiling it for me. Got
You
it.
have to speak up. I couldn't hear what you
I
said.
have a code, so I can't.
Mr. Brooks, was there an objection so I can move on?
Yes, there was
On
an
what
objection.
grounds?
Que
I can't even remember now.
Well, you're objecting on relevance. It's relevant. His answer may stand.
Snippy.
I'll tell you that.
Mr. Marquez,
Wait, what?
if you
Oh, uh-oh.
relevant, his answer may stand.
It wasn't relevant, so I'll tell you that.
Mr. Marquez, if you hear the word objection, please wait until I rule on the objection
Mi decisión o posición
before you answer.
antes que conteste.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Go ahead.
Adelante.
So we did answer the question?
¿Sí contestó la pregunta?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you.
Muy bien, gracias.
You were with your wife and your son?
¿Estaba con su esposa y su hijo?
Sí.
Yes.
And your son's name is David Marquez?
Objection
¿El
leading.
nombre de su hijo es David Márquez?
Overruled. You called the witness. The state may lead. Go ahead and answer.
Contesta la pregunta.
So my understanding of, because I recall the issues surrounding this, Brooks doesn't realize, and I made this comment because people were asking me earlier today and before lunch that when you're on cross, the parties can ask leading questions. So all this time, up until this time, the witnesses have all been for the state. The state is not on direct testimony, are not allowed to ask leading questions, but Brooks can. But since this is a witness that Brooks subpoenaed, he's only allowed to do direct testimony, setting aside the fact that the state basically let him ask leading questions almost throughout the entire time. But the state is allowed to ask leading questions now. But I don't think he understands that.
What does that mean?
Go ahead and answer, sir.
Sí.
Yes.
You testified that at some point you were struck by a vehicle.
Objection.
Usted testificó en un momento que usted testificó que
Overruled.
pegado un vehículo.
You may answer.
Puede contestar la pregunta.
Sí.
Yes.
Did you have any warning before you were struck by the car?
Objection.
Tipo de advertencia,
Hearsay.
de aviso, antes que por chocar por el carro. Me pongo de evidencia por referencia.
Overruled.
Anulada.
The witness may answer.
Puede contestar la pregunta.
No.
No.
Did you hear a horn honking?
¿Escuchó
Objection.
una bocina, un claxon?
Hearsay.
¿Está sonando el vehículo? ¿Un claxon?
Overruled. The witness may answer.
¿Puede contestar la pregunta?
No.
No.
Sir, I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 161.
161.
Go ahead.
Adelante.
Can you see that picture on the screen in front of you?
¿Pantalla frente a usted? ¿Lo ve la imagen?
Sí.
Yes.
And do you see the approximate area where you landed after the vehicle struck you?
Usted fue al área aproximado donde
Objection
se
leading.
cayó después de que el vehículo lo-
Overruled. The state may lead. It's not their witness.
No es su testigo.
Go ahead and answer, sir.
Adelante y conteste, por favor.
So I can lead too if it's not my witness?
No. Well, hold on. We'll get to that later. There's been an objection. I'm overruling it.
Anulada la acusación.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Haga su
The
pregunta.
state can do what they want.
Do you,
Oh no.
do you see the area in which you landed after the vehicle struck you?
Después de que el vehículo lo chocó.
Sí.
Yes.
That I'd ask that this exhibit be admitted to evidence, which is 161, and published to the jury.
Objection.
Ubicado en 161.
We can't even see who's what exactly is the state referring to.
¿Qué se refiere al Estado?
You can't even see who it is.
No veo quién es.
Just state your objection.
Su
It's
objeción
overruled
anulada.
Of course, it's gonna be overruled.
because it's attempt to testify. But if the state could just ask a few more foundational questions, please.
Certainly. When you met with the state, did you review some video of the parade?
Objection.
Me
Hearsay.
pongo evidencia que lo es.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
No puede contestar.
Sí.
Yes.
And after reviewing that video, were you able to determine the area in which your body landed after you were struck by the car?
Objection. Hearsay and leading.
Overruled as to both. You may answer, sir.
Después de que entonces se recibió entonces el choque del carro, determinó el área. ¿Se acuerda dónde su cuerpo quedó después de que el vehículo chocó?
Sí.
Yes.
And do you see that area on this exhibit?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Sí.
Yes.
I'd ask that this
Objection.
exhibit be admitted to evidence and published for the jury.
Objection. What's the relevancy?
The objections are noted. They are overruled. And Exhibit 161 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
And it's indicated that that is now being seen in the jury box. Sir, the screen in front of you is a touch screen. Can you circle the area in which you believe you landed?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Para contestar la pregunta.
Like you say, where they believe.
¿Dónde cree que se quedó?
Either you know or you don't.
The witness may answer.
Sí.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Can you do that now?
¿Puede ser eso? Entonces, marcar el lugar donde se cayó.
That's where it was fixed the whole case.
If we can take a snapshot of that.
I don't know what Mr. Brooks just mumbled, but it's not his turn to ask questions. There was no objection. The jury will disregard that.
And this would be Exhibit 161A.
Object.
And we'll
Thanks,
screen capture that.
Limey, for the £5 super chat.
161A has been captured. Are you moving that in?
I am.
And Exhibit 161 is received. 61A.
Thank you. And do you see anyone that you recognize standing in that area?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The state may lead. It's cross-examination of your witness,
So I
sir.
can lead on cross-examination then?
I direct your attention to 906.11 sub
And I
3,
lead
sir.
on cross-examination.
I'm not going to answer that. Go ahead,
So
sir.
that's
You may
judicial
answer.
determination that you don't have to answer that?
Oh my god.
If I don't understand something?
The jury will disregard the comments being made by Mr. Brooks.
Judicial determination, okay.
Go ahead and answer the question if you recall it, sir.
¿Me puede repetir la pregunta?
Could you repeat the question?
Yes. Do you see David, your son, in that picture?
Objection.
Su hijo en esa foto.
That way.
Sí. Yes.
And is he wearing,
So my objection is not going to be noted.
The objection is overruled. The state chose to ask a different question. That's fine.
and is he seated near some blue chairs wearing a blue jacket?
Objection leading.
Oh my
Overruled.
god.
You
He
may
doesn't
answer, sir.
understand.
Sí.
Yes.
And sir, is that you laying down and you can see in this picture your legs and they're hanging into the roadway?
Objection leading.
Witness may answer. Overruled.
¿Entendí ese camino? ¿Lo ve?
Sí.
Yes.
Now, Is that where you were walking when you were struck from behind?
Objection,
in that
leading.
position?
I'm not doing that, little country, but thank you for the $2.
Overruled. You may answer.
No puede contestar la pregunta.
No.
No.
How far from the position that you recalled yourself to be at when you were walking did you land?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Me pongo en evidencia por referencia anulada. Puede contestar la pregunta.
Entre 15 a 20 pies.
Between 15 and 20 feet.
So your body flew through the air between 15 and 20 feet. Is that what your
Objection,
testimony
leading.
is?
Sí.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't rule on the objection, but it is overruled, and his answer may stand.
Was David also struck by a vehicle during the parade?
Sí.
Yes.
Did he received injuries as well?
Fue lesionado.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
Se puede contestar.
Sí.
Yes.
Can you describe what your injuries were, sir?
Objection, leading.
Sus heridas.
Overruled. You may answer.
Sí, anulada. Puede contestar.
Sí.
Yes.
What were they?
¿Qué fueron sus heridas?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
Pongo pregunta encima. Anulada.
Thank you, Yuko, for the $2. Major assault incoming.
My fibula.
Y
Thank you,
ligamento.
Carl B, for the $5.
Your fibia was broken?
Objection, leading. Speculative.
Overruled as to both.
That's
The
not
witness
what
may
he said.
answer.
Sí.
Yes.
And you had torn ligaments?
Tiene entonces.
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
You say that in the question before?
Sí.
Yes.
And were those both in the same leg?
Still continuing to talk.
Sí.
Sorry,
Yes.
overruled.
Anulada la pregunta.
If we
Of course.
just wait when there's an
Yeah, of course.
objection. I'm overruling it. It's relevant. It's not leading. The witness's answers may stand.
I mean, yeah, you overrule every objection.
And the jury will disregard the additional commentary made by Mr. Brooks at this time.
Judicial misconduct at its finest.
And which leg was that, sir?
Objection, action, answer.
Overruled. You may answer.
Puede contestar la pregunta.
El pie izquierdo.
My left leg.
Did you have to have surgery on that leg?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
Posición, pregunta encima. Anulada.
Sí.
Let's
Yes.
see what y'all
Just
trying
one?
to
Nada más una cirugía.
I s-
Dos.
Two.
do. That's not gonna work either.
Mr. Brooks, you
I'm trying to. All right, I want to hear what he actually said there.
Posición, pregunta encima. Anulada.
Sí.
Let's
Yes.
see what y'all
Just
trying
one?
Nada más una cirugía.
to do.
Dos.
You're trying to something or another. I can't really hear what he said, but he said like that's not going to work either.
Two.
That's not gonna work either.
Mr.
Yeah.
Brooks, you are advised to stop with the commentary.
No, I'm gonna say what I want.
You
to say.
called this witness. I'm going to take a break right now and excuse the jury and this witness.
All right.
What you doing is judicial misconduct. Judicial misconduct. But you don't want the jury to hear the truth. That's not fair to the jury. They have a right to hear everything. Not finna sit here and let you fix the trial because you don't want to tell the truth to the jury.
Mr. Brooks, please stop.
No, ain't no please.
You are
nothing.
being disruptive.
Ain't
You
no
are being
please. Nigga,
disrespectful.
you always
The
gonna
witness
find
may
some
step
reason to
down.
say somebody's being disruptive because they want the truth to be out there. Man, quit it. You're supposed to be the
Mr. Brooks,
judge.
I'm advising you that continued interruptions will result in you forfeiting your right to be
Okay,
present
and
in this
under
courtroom.
what law and
during
fact can you do that?
Illinois versus Allen.
Okay,
sir.
but the fourth option that you made up, that's not even in the law,
Mr.
because you
Brooks,
can't do that.
I need to make a
By law, you
ruling.
can't do that.
I need to
And
make
you
a
know you
finding.
can't.
All right, I'm going to excuse everyone. Mr. Brooks is being removed from the courtroom. He will continue in the neighboring courtroom. Please make sure he has his objection signed and a pad of paper.
So is that-
so that he can
so is that holding me in
meaningfully
contempt?
participate, and I will make a ruling when I.
So are you
after we
holding
come
me in
back up.
contempt? Is that civil or criminal?
Well, probably neither. The only reason why he probably tried to call the witness is because he saw in the police report that probably at the time he was in the hospital and when he was interviewed by the FBI, he in his injured state probably said that the whatever hit him was black in color and not red, thus lending possible doubt that the vehicle, that there was only one vehicle, or that it was a different vehicle that injured him, something to that effect, right? But yeah.
He says the following leading questions. Leading questions should jurisdiction, misconduct by the court. Record, Mr. Brooks has been removed to the other courtroom. The jury is not present, and the witness that was on the stand is also not present in the courtroom.
Actually, he is, Judge.
Oh, all right, then we'll have him removed. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. I didn't see him seated all the way back behind a couple of individuals. So this morning, Mr. Brooks, prior to the court removing him, had interrupted the court approximately 10 times prior to 10:19 a.m. Then, of course, he was removed. This does not include the repeated commentary, either under his breath but still audible for the court to hear, the jury to hear, and witnesses to hear, related to a variety of topics, including subject matter, jurisdiction, misconduct by the court, disapproval with the court's rulings. This very last witness was a witness called out of order at the request of Mr. Brooks. As I know the attorneys are well aware, and certainly this court is well aware, under 906.11, the court shall exercise reasonable control over the mode and order of interrogating witnesses and presenting evidence so as to do all of the following. Make the interrogation and presentation effective for the ascertainment of truth, avoid needless consumption of time, protect witnesses from harassment or undue embarrassment. That's all under sub 1. Sub 2, scope of cross-examination. A witness may be cross-examined on any matter relevant to any issue in the case, including credibility. In the interest of justice, the judge may limit cross-examination with respect to matters not testified to on direct examination. I frankly haven't exercised my authority under that particular subsection. I have generally relied upon sub 1. In addition, sub 3 says the following leading questions. Leading questions should not be used on the direct examination of a witness except as may be necessary to develop the witness's testimony. Ordinarily, leading questions should be permitted on cross-examination.
Yep.
And during the cross-examination of this last witness, Mr. Brooks
there it is.
objected almost without fail, if not without fail, to every single question asked by the state on grounds of either leading or relevance. And then when the court overruled the objections, as time went on, it seemed to me that his commentary became much more audible. He was muttering under his breath and clearly showing disrespect for the court and the proceedings. In my opinion, they're baseless objections. Again, because this witness was brought into court on a subpoena that was from Mr. Brooks, served, of course, by the state to assist with him in that regard. But the state was well within its rights to ask leading questions. It's this court's opinion that the repeated interruptions by way of baseless objections is to disrupt these proceedings, disrupt the testimony of the witnesses, and in particular, Mr. Marquez. This court has been abundantly patient this morning, noting the repeated interruptions by Mr. Brooks, starting right away at 8:31. There were a couple of interruptions, continuing at 8:37, at 8:48. I think we had a total of 5 more at that point or so, at 8:49, and then, of course, at 10:19, this court removed him under its authority in Illinois versus Allen. I also had warned him, or at least at times I would give the jury an admonishment, not really an admonishment, but an instruction, please disregard the commentary by Mr. Brooks. It's been very apparent that any time this jury is brought in or taken out, Mr. Brooks begins making statements that are misstatements of the law or generally his disagreement with whatever is going on at that particular time, accusing the court of either bias or misconduct, accusing this court of hiding information from this jury. This court is not doing any such thing. I will make a finding that based upon the conduct
probably
of
not.
Mr. Brooks, that he has forfeited his right to be present during the cross-examination.
Fine, sure.
And any redirect of Mr.
Solitary,
Marquez. Mr. Brooks's conduct has been anything but respectful today. Again, it's been disruptive. As this court was stepping off the bench, he made some type of statement about contempt. Are you finding me in contempt? This court is well aware that one of the permissible ways to handle a defendant who shows flagrant disregard in the courtroom for elementary standards of proper conduct is to find a defendant in contempt. However, I'm not dealing with a defendant who is out of custody. I'm dealing with a defendant who is in custody on very serious charges, including, if convicted, facing the possibility of life sentences without the possibility of extended supervision. It is my opinion that finding him in contempt is not really a viable alternative to this court. Frankly, it would, in my opinion, it would serve to give the defendant, let me restate that. In my opinion, if this court were to find Mr. Brooks in contempt, it would allow him to profit from his own wrongdoing.
Yes.
Because it would result in a delay of these proceedings. I would have to, of course, make certain findings. One of the possibilities for contempt is to hold him in custody until such time as he's willing to abide by the rules. That is just not something this court is willing to even do because it would delay the proceedings.
It would delay the proceedings and it would be utterly pointless because he's already in custody, which is one of the possibilities that the court discussed in the case that she cites. Illinois versus Allen.
I am aware that that is a option identified by the Supreme Court in Illinois versus Allen, but I would remind the parties once again that Illinois versus Allen was decided in 1970. Certainly the technology that we have available in this courtroom was not something available to the parties in Illinois versus Allen. We have a very new state-of-the-art courthouse that I am operating out of. I'm in courtroom 13. Next door is courtroom 20. These are just the room numbers that I'm referring to. As you can see, we have the ability to see and hear into that courtroom, and that video is working. I'm told that it is from my clerk. If I could also get verification from the bailiffs who are in that courtroom. But we have the ability, I have the ability, through that technology for Mr. Brooks to meaningfully participate. He does have, and it was provided with him when he was taken to that courtroom, the objection sign. I also instructed that he be given a pad of paper and a writing utensil so that he could write down his objections. Or if I feel it appropriate, I can unmute and hear what his objection is. But it's my belief that the use of my ability to mute and unmute will assist the proceedings so that it's orderly, that it is free from disruption as best as I can control it under my authority under 906.11 and my authority given to me and expressed by the U.S. Supreme Court in Illinois versus Allen. Although I'm making a finding that he's forfeited his right by his conduct to be present for the continued cross-examination and any redirect of Mr. Marquez, I'll also make an alternate finding that the technology that I've just described provides the functional equivalent of Mr. Brooks being present during this case. With that, I would like to have the jurors brought in. I'll have the witness brought back to the witness stand with the assistance of the interpreter, and the state can continue with its cross-exam of the witness called out of order, but on behalf of Mr. Brooks. Here that the audio and video time. All right, would Mr. Marquez, and just for the record, I will certainly let Mr. Brooks know he can ask. Is appearing from another courtroom that should not affect the jury's verdict in any way. The state may continue with its cross-exam of this witness.
The state would have nothing further.
All right, Mr. Brooks, do you have any redirect for this witness? Mr. Brooks, do you have any further questions for Mr. Marquez? Record should reflect that Mr. Brooks is reading out of a book. He has not answered the question. I will ask one more time. Sir, do you have any further questions for Mr. Marquez?
Am I unmuted?
You are. You have been.
What's going on?
Do you have any redirect questions for Mr. Marquez? This is your opportunity to ask any follow-up questions that you have for this witness.
say something. I'm trying to see if the headphones on.
Oh my god.
It's supposed to be on a certain channel. Can someone say something from the other courtroom?
Any questions for Mr. Marquez at this time? It's your opportunity to ask follow-up questions. The state indicated it did not have any additional questions.
Nope, I don't got no follow-up question.
All right, thank you. Then, Mr. Marquez, you may step down. Thank you for being here today. All right, I need to excuse the jury momentarily. Please rise for the jury.
I had on some Green Bay Packer flip-flops because it was game day.
I know that they do talk about that in the first interview, but I'm gonna move. There's actually one clip that that was actually recently that was uploaded that I wanted to showcase. And it was during the second day. I believe this was on the 22nd of November.
When you left Stephanie's,
It was still daytime.
it was still daytime?
Yes.
Okay. Were there still a lot of people out?
It was still people out.
Okay.
It was still people out. Not a lot in that area. By the park, it was a lot of people out.
Okay.
Like I said, it looked like something was, I don't know what the hell. But it was a lot of people out. And it was, like I said, it was people, it was older couples walking down the street. It was younger people walking down the street.
It
People
was like an event or something was going on?
I don't know, but it kind of seemed like it was a lot, like it was something going on to where it was vibrant. Because there was a lot of people everywhere.
Walking
everywhere,
up and down the street.
Everywhere. It's people. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I got into a fight with her right there, it would be impossible for somebody to not be like, hey, this guy's fighting.
Lori, thank you for the $3 tip.
Whatever the case may be. Like, how could somebody not see something?
How long was it between leaving Stephanie's and those cops yelling at you at the door of that guy's house?
Was it dark when they yelled at you?
Yeah, by the time they came, it was dark.
Okay.
But we had been sitting out there. We had been sitting out there for a minute, me and the guy. We were sitting right there on the porch. We were just sitting there.
To find how long? Estimate.
Maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe. Okay. It wasn't long, but it was long enough for, like I said, he let me use his phone. We sat on the porch. We were sitting right there, just like this, just sitting on the porch. While I called me an Uber. I called the Uber. I said, look, man, I let him know. I said, look, I ain't trying to rob you or nothing like that. Because when I knocked on the door, he kind of was like, whoa. I'm like, look, I don't got no weapons. I'm not trying to break in your house. I'm not trying to rob you. Nothing like that, dog. I just need to call an Uber. That's it. I'm not, he was just like, okay. I come out. Boom. I need an Uber to, what's your address? He told me the address. And we was just sitting there waiting. That's how I was going to get back home. I told him, I said, I got the money on my card. I'm not asking you for no money. I just need to use your phone. That's it. That was it. That was all. And then from there, we sat on the porch and just shot the shit out.
I'm saying, you told me last night he was cool with that. Like, he wasn't,
yeah,
he wasn't being weird. He was like, oh, yeah, I'll help you out.
Yeah, we just sat there on the porch.
Right.
And he did ask me, he said, do you need a jacket? I said, no, I'm straight. Like, I'll be home as soon as the Uber comes. I know it's probably going to cost me probably like $40 to get from me. I'm guessing. I don't know, but probably. But I had enough on my card to where I knew I can get home. And that was the main thing. I'm like, I'm just going home. She can keep the money or whatever. I didn't even try to contact her further. I just was like, I'm gone. I'm calling this Uber and I'm going home. That's it.
Let me ask you this, Darrell. So you weren't out in Waukesha Saturday, just Sunday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nothing physical yesterday. Like I told you, you're a part in the investigation. There's a lot of parts, right? In the investigation, there's people we talk. Well, this domestic abuse thing I'm telling you about, right? Okay.
So wait.
Hold on. Let me
go.
I'm
sorry.
You talked about being a religious man, right?
I can do better.
God.
I can
We all
definitely do better.
could. We all could.
I'm not.
We all could.
No,
That's
it's
why.
perfect.
That's why.
Yesterday was a mistake. I should have just freaking watched the game and just fucking went home.
Right.
Because
And that's the thing. What do they teach us in Christianity? Darrell, that they teach us that we're broken, right? We're sinners. Even when we're born sinners. We're broken. That's why
Psalm
we're
51,
so
17.
thankful for God's grace and forgiveness, right? When we ask for it, even though we don't deserve it. But when we ask for it, He gives it. All right? You're a father. You got 3 children, 18, 14, and 7?
Yes, sir.
All right? You got a mama that raised you well, and a God you believe in.
Absolutely.
Right? And all of them are, here's the thing they'll all want, is to tell that you're telling the absolute whole truth and nothing but the truth, right?
Absolutely.
So help you God, right?
Absolutely.
Sound familiar? We've all heard that, right? And I just have concerns if I fact check that Darrell's not telling me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a car, so Marcus had to bring you out. You don't own a car, your mom doesn't own a car, right? So Marcus had to bring you out. So why did we find you with a car key in your pocket?
It wasn't in my pocket. I don't even know where they said.
So, I guess at some point in the testimony, he claimed that neither he nor his mom owned a vehicle. Thank you, Buford, for the $1.99 super chat. But they found the key in his pocket. Now, unless he's going to start saying that the cops planted the key in his pocket. I don't know about that, but I guess we'll find out.
That was laying on the ground.
That's yours.
Yeah. It should have been by my ID.
Yeah, it's yours. It's your car key. That's yours.
It wasn't in my pocket. I don't even know where they said that was laying on the ground.
That's yours.
Yeah. It should have been by my ID.
Yeah, it's yours. It's your car key, okay? Because it goes to a Ford Escape in your mom's name covered in Waukesha. Okay? Listen, Darrell. I'm trying to be as open and honest with you as I can be. You know, I'm Christian too, and believe me, I'm not perfect. And neither are you. And I'm not calling you a terrible man. I'm not saying you were out yesterday hunting, and just let me finish. But you did not walk to that house. You did not walk to that house. You did not come here in a tan Kia. You didn't.
And who?
You did not come out here in a tan Kia. Okay? You've got a key in your pocket to a car in your mom's name. Okay? And that key works for that car. For the love of God, Marcus. For yourself, for your family. You know what happened yesterday for the people. Tell me what happened.
With what?
With the car.
What am I being
With your mom's
investigated for?
car. You were driving goofy, people called you in, you drove out of there in your mom's car, the red car, you were driving a little silly, probably because you're pissed. You met up with Erica in the car at the park. Now initially I believe you told us the gas station, do I have that right? And then you changed it to the park. So that's an
No, I said the house was by the gas station. When you said what was by?
You said you went
landmark.
and it was by a gas station, that's where you met her.
No. I said I met her at the park.
Okay.
At
Well,
Creek.
you met her,
You say that.
you met her at the park in your mom's car. A red Ford Escape. She got in, you talked, and what you're telling me seems pretty consistent, that there was nothing physical between the two of you.
No, I didn't. No.
But you met her in the car.
I didn't put my hands on her. Nothing.
But you met her in the car.
What's going on, man?
Asking you a question.
Just be.
You were out there
Just tell
driving
me
kind of
what's
crazy.
going on,
Some
man.
people said you were driving kind of crazy. We got reports of it. You got the key, you got the car. Did you take a car, or did your mom give you the car? I know you know what car I'm talking about.
I just want to know. So
Some people
now
reported,
listen,
all those
okay,
people out there
no.
reported that car driving a bit erratic.
I know what you're saying. All I'm saying is this. We all been straight up with each other. You knew it was more to what you was asking me yesterday.
Have we, though?
Didn't know
That
for
would
sure.
explain the FBI and all that, right?
They're not here today. So if it's that big a deal, you don't see them here today.
Come on, Kurt. We been
Kurt knows him on a first name basis.
cool, man, the whole time. If I did something
Yeah,
wrong,
that's why they were
serious-
here. But do you see them here today? They're not here today.
Yeah, but y'all lied to me, man. You made it seem like they just come for no reason.
Well, here's the thing, Darrell.
And I'm like, what if it's
Listen to
that?
me for a minute.
I
I can give you a clean slate
I
here.
apologize.
Because you have lied to us as well. Because you came out here in the red Ford Escape. Okay, that is what you came out here in. You had the key. Right? So what I want to do is try to give us all a chance to reset. understand what I'm saying? Start over. Because you're not giving us an accurate story. You didn't ride out with Marcus in a tan car. You said your mom doesn't have a car. I just told you we've disproven that. All right? I don't know what kind of woman she is. I don't know what y'all been through. But you were seen in the car driving kind of acting a fool. Okay? In basically the same area that you've already been able to describe to me. I'm just trying to figure out how.
Thank you, Taylor, for the 1999 super chat.
So mad where you're like, fuck it, and you raced on out of there. And then people go, man, he's driving around here kind of fast.
All I want to know, like I said, y'all being cool with me. Am I charged with anything? That's all I want to know. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Right now.
Listen.
You were driving a bit.
Listen. No, I don't drink.
You said you had a couple cold ones during the game.
No, yeah, but I'm saying the hard alcohol is not my thing. I was not drunk when you.
So I would say probably the smartest thing he did from what little I've read or heard from the interrogation, that he does not confess. He continues to deny everything he can, or just completely deflect, which again, probably the smartest thing he could do at that point. Not that it's gonna save him. The other evidence is overwhelming. And ultimately the detectives don't really need a confession because of the immense amount of evidence they have. So doesn't matter at the end of the day. I'm gonna go through this last clip and then I'm gonna probably call it.
So is that
standard
procedure to not tell a person why they're being detained?
Well, we did not tell you. That's incorrect, and it's misleading to the court. You were informed you were being detained for prowling, loitering, disorderly conduct of that nature.
Is that the same as...
Can I finish, please? I just didn't bring out the parade part of it.
Why not?
As I stated in earlier testimony, it was very fluid and chaotic, and a lot of information wasn't yet known, so I was waiting to receive more information.
Did you state in your early testimony if that was standard procedure or not?
It's standard.
So with every detainee that you've ever detained during your career, 18 years, right?
Yes.
It's standard procedure to not tell someone being detained what they're detained for.
As I had stated in my earlier testimony, Mr. Brooks, I explained to you were detained for prowling and loitering.
Mr. Brooks.
Disorderly conduct. Based on the lack of information on the parade, that was not brought up. So what I can clarify for the court at this point is that in situations where so limited information exists early on, it is standard not to convey that information to suspects.
And what do you mean by it's standard?
I mean that I don't tell them because I don't have all the facts yet, and I'm not looking to necessarily accuse them before I know the nature of what they did or didn't do exactly pertaining to that incident.
I know. I thought I was going to stop, but I'll just do this shoulder injury.
No, not you, not y'all saying that, but it's just I feel that way because
You're trying to guess.
I know you heard that. Oh my God. Oh, that fucking hurt.
Sure.
I know you heard that.
I heard it. Didn't check.
We're gonna go check with them. Maybe they'll listen to us a little bit better. Maybe.
Let's check.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Have a good one. Thank you for the 5 pounds, Limey.
Dude, it gotta be something wrong, man. How in the hell is it?
Sometimes sprains will pop too.
Yeah, but why is it hurting like this? And they say there's nothing. Dude.
Because sprains can actually be more painful than a break.
Whatever they did, it hurt so bad.
He keeps saying whatever they did. I mean, he was already on the ground before they even touched him. So, but he keeps saying that they slammed him to the ground. He was already on the ground.
Why don't you keep the food and the soda and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh. Oh my god.
I think we got that Tylenol. We'll be right with you.
And the clip ended at 2:05:45.
I mean, even he has enough shame that he can't even bring himself to look at his own Oscar performance. Okay. All right, we'll have to end it out on there. I'm sorry guys, I'm just a little tired and you know, I'm not in the mood much anymore. But I'll thank you guys again for sticking around with me. I think Natalie might still be on, so go ahead and check her out. Shout out to her. Yeah, as always, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Hit that like button on your way out, and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, adios. See ya.